Hello everybody, this is the third video of the series for the first semester project. In this video we will develop our brick plans and our final prints for our design. So follow me up on this tutorial. Right, so at this stage we will create a new view for the brick layout. We will come to the view. We'll create a new floor plan. We're going to duplicate level number 1, and this is the default by Revit. Once more, we will hide the topography, so hide in view the entire category. This stage the planting doesn't really give us nothing, so I'm going to delete the entire category as well. I'm going to keep the brick grids, but I'm gonna discard the other ones, all the 6mm bubble. So I'm gonna select all with the shortcut select all, and I'm gonna hide these elements in the view. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna force this entire category to be half-toned, and also the reference planes, they will also be half-tone. Override graphics by category, and I'm just gonna go half-tone. I'm gonna say apply and OK. I'm gonna change the detail of the view as well to be fine, so then I see my I'll see my layers of my wall. Maybe I'm gonna check the thin lines, so then I see the cut lines. At this stage the furniture is not so important for me, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click on one chair. I'm gonna hide the entire category as well. Same here for the casework, hide the entire category, and for the plumbing as well, so hide the entire category as well. Okay, one thing that I need in here is to have the room names, so something that I'm going to copy from the project proposal. I'm going to click on one, select all. I'm going to copy them to my clipboard, go back to my level 1 that I was working with, and I'm just going to paste a line with the current view, and they look all correct to me. I'm going to change them, actually change their location to the center, so then I know what rooms am I talking about. One thing that I'm going to do here now is to detail the bricks using the annotation layer. So the idea here is that I will come to the annotate tab. I'm going to use a component, and we have some bricks here. They don't really help us out, so I'm going to load a family. I'm going to come to the US metric, come to detail items. After that I would go to the masonry, clay masonry units. I'm going to want to see the bricks on top. That's what I want, so I'm going to open this detail. Probably I'm going to go and change the thickness lines to be in here, so I'm just going to place it here. One thing that I have in here is the brick. The brick doesn't follow our standards, it has another dimension. So what I'm going to go, I'm going to edit this type, and the dimensions are not correct. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create Danish standard brick. So I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to say that this is the top view DK brick with a 12mm joint, So the thickness of the brick, it doesn't really matter in this case, but just to make sure that it's correct, it's going to be 54. The length is going to be 228, and the height, no, sorry, the thickness is going to be, oh, sorry, the thickness is going to be 108, and the height is going to be 54. The joint will be 12, and that's my brick now. So I'm going to say OK, and now this brick follows the grid. One thing to notice, I'm just going to rotate the brick. So we start in here. Something here doesn't really add up, and that's the thickness of the brick. I should have 108, and I'm having another dimension here, so I'm gonna click on this one, edit this type, and the thick, so it's the other way around. The thickness is going to be 54, and the height is going to be 108. That's more like it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a repeating detail until I reach this section over here, and I will adjust. After that, I will adjust on the 3D. I will adjust the opening to the left or to the right according to the brick. One thing that I have to notice is that this detail component has a joint, and I don't, as a mortar joint, and I want to have another type where it doesn't have a joint, of course. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here, I'm going to edit this type, I'm going to duplicate, and instead of 12 millimeters, I'm going to say no joint. I'm going to say 0 on the 12, and I'm going to press OK. After pressing OK, it deletes the filled region for the joint. That's what I want. So I'm going to get back to, I'm just going to move this detail. I'm going to move this detail somewhere here. This is my brick. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to create a repeating detail component for the Danish brick. So this type I'm going to duplicate brick DK, and it's going to be fixed distance. The rotation I still don't know but I know that this distance is going to be 240, and I'm going to change this one to be the DK with 12 millimeters. Let's see how it runs. If I need to rotate the detail after, I will do it. So let's create, yeah, I need to rotate the detail 90 degrees. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come here, and I need to rotate the detail 90 degrees clockwise. Let's see. Yeah, this is correct, but the starting point is not the best one. So let me try to rotate it counterclockwise. Let's say OK. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to rotate it the other option that I had, so it's going to be clockwise. This is the best option. The only problem is that it starts outside of the gap. I need to move them. So this for now, but I'm going to move it to the, I need to put some colors in here so then I see where the brick, okay, the brick is there. I'm going to move this repeating detail from here to here and move it from here to there. Okay, so I can actually increase my detail 1 or 2 bricks, and then I need this last one to move in here, and now I can move my window to the correct position that is exactly on the grid minus the 12 millimeters. So I can actually do an alignment, align to this brick, align the window. Yeah. At the end, my window needs to follow the brick grid, so I need to adjust the brick grid to be in this case I need to start minus 12 millimeters from this edge. So one thing that I need to do, I need to make sure that this distance here, these 12 millimeters also are changed in here. Let me check. Actually, we need to adjust this window so then it matches the grid line after. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna check the distance between these two. So it's 10 millimeters. I need to increase this window for 10 millimeters. I'm gonna edit this type. I'm gonna come here for the rough width to, I'm just gonna say it's equal to the number that it is at the moment plus 10. I'm gonna copy paste the name and I'm gonna rename the window to be correct. Control V. Let's say OK and OK. I need to align it again, so I'm gonna align shortcut AL, align the window. Now it should be matching the grid, and it is. Okay, so at this moment what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create more of these. So control create similar, and it's gonna be something like this, and I need an extra brick. So what's gonna happen in here is that I will move this window to the right, or I have two options. Or I delete one brick and put a single one here, or I think I'm gonna do that because it's just closer. So I'm just gonna remove one brick and I'm gonna just copy this single one, so it matches our it can fit the window. So I'm just gonna check. So this is 2187. This is the same 8187. What's gonna happen is that I'm gonna align this window to the brick. So align. I'm gonna select the reference here. I'm gonna align it, and it should be correct on this size, and it is. I'm just gonna create all the bricks until I get to this area, and after that we will see what's the solution that we have to implement in here. Okay, so the top row of the bricks are in place. Everything is matching their dimensions. I just have one problem here, is that actually, because I don't have mortar in the end of the last brick, what I need to do, I need to adjust actually the wall, and that's why we did the parametric design, that everything adapts. So the roof will adapt, the foundation will adapt, the floor included. All the dimensions that we did, all the areas, everything will adapt. So this is an easy fix. What I need to do, I need to align this wall to the new brick in here. So I'm going to say align. This is going to be my reference. I'm going to select multiple alignment because I have several walls in here. I don't know if they will all adapt. So I'm going to select the wall to adapt. Let me check if this one, it's adapted. Yes, it's adapted. Nothing more that I need to adapt. Everything is correct now. So I'm going to continue with the brick laying, and we will fix the problem in another area. Okay, so we have exactly the same problem in here I have a space in here. I should have a mortar of 12, and I have at the moment I have 24, so I need to move, actually I need to move this wall 12 millimeters up, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna move, select the command move, select any place to move, and just go 12 millimeters. Of course the annotation doesn't follow, but I'll just force it to move as well. So move 12 millimeters. So now I should have a gap in here of 12 millimeters, and that's what I want. That's the mortar joint that I want to have in here. So far I moved the house 12 millimeters to the left and up this wall 12 millimeters as well. So I'm just going to continue with all the work, and maybe I'll just go through this area because it's just simpler. When I start to tackle this area, it's going to be a bit more complicated because the sizes in here, they are a bit sharp, and probably I will have to have another family, half a brick, to fix these problems in here. I have finalized my adjustments. Of course, it takes a bit of adjustments. We have to change some dimensions, mostly little stuff, 12 millimeters here, 12 millimeters there. It's because of the mortar. We have some adjustments here as well. One thing that I've noticed is that because we are, this is a detail that is recommended for 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 sections and elevations. One thing that happens is that our plan view, because it's 1 to 100, the lines, they become really thick on the detail components. So one solution, we could go to the family, change the lines there, but I think it's easier, at least at this point, because we are going to print, we're going to export the views. I would change it to 150, maybe to 120. 120. We might have a problem. Yes, we do. That's the tag in here is too small, so just keep it, let's keep it 1 to 100. And it might be an idea to edit the family. So if you come in here, edit the family and change the line thickness of this element, select the boundary lines. Instead of heavy lines, we say that they're going to be medium lines. Let's see how it looks. Finish the element, load and close. I don't want to save changes in my computer. I want to override the existing version. I'm gonna say okay. Yeah, it's a bit better now. To 1 to 100, it looks much better now. Okay, so one thing that I don't need this anymore. I don't need the reference plane, so I'm going to hide in view the entire category. I'm going to, because this is a technical drawing, I'm going to keep the hidden line style. Something that I'm going to do as well is just to put the insulation around. Actually, I can copy the insulation from the project proposal. So I'm gonna select all instances, select all instances. I cannot do them here. One thing that I can do, I can, instead of coming like this, I can select everything, because I cannot select them by all. So filter them, check none, and I would have in the insulation lines. I'm going to copy them. So I'm going to copy them to the clipboard. I'm going to go back to my level 1. I should rename the view as well for the brick patterns. And I'm going to paste the lines to the current view. So my installation is there already. Yeah, let's do that now. So I'm going to rename this view level 1 brick dimensions. Instead of calling it level 1, I'm going to call it plan view brick dimensions. I'm going to do the same in this one, so I'm going to just copy paste and rename them as well. Okay, I'm going to keep this level 2. I'm not using it. At this point, this is my brick layer, and this is my project proposal. I'm going to put some overall dimensions, so I'm just going to copy paste these dimensions in here for the view. So copy them here on the brick dimensions. I'm going to just paste the lines to the current view. I'm going to have some more dimensions, so I'm going to create similar. So I'm going to use the wall, not the detail, the brick, the wall itself. Yes, I have to tab to select the wall, and again here, not the detail, the wall. Yes, so I'm just going to place it somewhere here, and I'm going to do the same on this one. So not the detail, the wall. I tab to select the other, so not detail, I'm clicking tab to select the wall now, and just somewhere around here, so it looks a bit better. Okay, so what I'm missing now, I'm missing a section. I'm going to create a section around here, so then I see the bedroom and I see the double roof. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a section. So let me check my elevations. Actually, I didn't saw the elevations. I need to work on them a little bit. So in here, I'm gonna, on my elevations, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna hide in view these ones. I'm gonna hide in view, select all instances visible in view, and hide these elements. I think I'm gonna hide as well the foundation in this view. I'm gonna hide in view the entire category of wall foundations. Whereas this is the pad. I'm gonna hide in view as well the category of the pad and the topography as well. Hide in category. What is this now? The floor. Yeah, I'm gonna hide it because actually what I could do in here, I could create a field region just to give me the terrain, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna come here to annotate. I'm gonna go a field region. Let me see if I have earth, solid black, wood, diagonal, wood, diagonal cross hatch. Yeah, I'm just gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna duplicate this one. I'm gonna call it earth pattern. Instead of being this one, I'm gonna select something more earth-like. Yes. Let's see how it looks, and then if I have to adjust. So now I'm drawing earth part. I'm just gonna do a little square here just to see how it looks. Thin lines, yeah, that's fine by me. And okay, this is fine. So I'm just gonna cover the entire foundation, something like this. I'm gonna edit the boundary, remove these lines in here, and I'm gonna draw something more earth. Control Z. So I'm gonna edit this boundary. I'm just gonna move it a bit inside. It's too big at the moment. So this is one style. You can pick up your own style, your own definition. Maybe you don't want to show anything, just a clean white slate. It depends also on your if this is an outline proposal drawing or this is a final drawing or as well. So I have the levels. One thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to change this level to be a 2D definition, so I don't change the level size itself. I'm just changing the annotation of the level on this specific view. I'm going to close this one up. Same here. I'm going to put it into a 2D and I'm going to align it with the other one. Again here 2D, bit closer, 2D again. I don't move the level, I only move this representation. Same in here. Maybe I can raise the entire thing in 3D, because then when I'm moving up, I'm moving onto all the views up, and that might be a good idea. Annotations here. I'm going to put some shadows so then I understand the depth of my drawing. So I'm going to activate the shadows by clicking on the shadows button. Yes, that looks a bit better. Maybe I'm going to change the detail to fine. Nothing really very different. One thing that I want to do, I'm going to play with the graphics on this view and my shadows. I want to cast ambient shadows as well. It really gives a different look to my elevation. It gives a sense of depth. And let's say okay. One trick for it to look a bit better even is to create, so because I know that this wall in here it's closer to me than comparing to this wall, so the line of this wall, the contour of this wall might be a bit thick, more thick than the rest. It represents better my design as well. So also I would give it thick lines in here, maybe medium on this roof edge. I will keep the thin line on top, and that will give me a sense of depth as well. So thick lines in here as well on this line. That's something that I would work on it. Okay, so one thing that I want to do, I want to save this as a template so then I can apply it to the rest of the elevations, so I don't have to repeat this work over and over and over again. So I'm going to come to view. I'm going to create a template from the current view, and I'm going to call it G1 underscore my initials, so then I know who did it, and I'm going to say elevation template. Okay, everything is included. I'm going to say okay. I have to activate on all the views, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the first one, I'm going to select the last one with shift, and I'm going to do my elevation template on all of them. This, of course, this one doesn't change, but the other ones, they might be already changing. Of course, I need the ground in here, so I need to align with the view. Of course, I need to, because they don't belong to the template, I need to select all. There is some work to do still, so I need to move the 2D representation of the levels a bit closer to the actual drawing. Just gonna snap it here, 3D as well. I'm gonna move it to 2D, something like this. Snap to the other one. I'm gonna select all elements in view, select all instances in the view. I'm gonna hide in elements, so then it's a bit better. I'm just missing the earth in this solution, So I'm just going to work on all the views, make sure that they are all correct. And then we will go to the printing settings, and also for the exporting the views to use them on my presentation. Okay, so all my elevations are in place. I could play with the solar settings a little bit more, because I can have a different sun settings on every view if I remove the template, and that would be maybe a good technique to do it. One thing that I noticed is that I'm missing the roof level, the top roof level. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create a level. The architectural tab, I'm going to create a level. On the options bar, this is really important. I cannot create a plan view so that I don't have a top view again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place the level somewhere here, so something like this. And notice that this level is black. It means that in these levels, if I double click, I will go to the floor plan corresponding to this level. If I double click on this one, nothing happens. It's just an annotation layer. It's just something for my reference. I can attach to it, so it has the same as one of the behaviors is the same as the other levels, but they don't behave. They don't reference to another view. What I'm gonna missing here, I'm just gonna align this level to the height of the roof. So I'm gonna say align. This is the reference, and I want the level to be attached to it. This level should be visible in all the views now, and yes, it is. I just need to fix it with the 2D annotation to be snapping to the other ones. So something like this. I'm gonna go south now. South is done. I'm gonna do east. No 3D, no 3D. I'm just gonna align it correctly to the. When they print, they will print all black. So because it's an option during the print that they print. Even if they are blue, they will print black, and the black, of course, prints black. Snapping, yes. Okay. So at this point, I'm missing an elevation section, sorry, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to level 1, working view. It doesn't really matter which view I am. I'm just going to create an elevation here. I think this would be maybe not here, maybe here next to this bedroom. So then I see the bed, and I see the desk, maybe somewhere around here. I think I'm cutting on the wall, so I'm just going to move it a little bit up somewhere here. Okay, so as you notice, by default, Revit selects the extent of this section to do the entire building. I don't want to see the entire building, I just want to see a part of it, or yeah, it's something that I have to decide from now. But one thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to crop it a little bit to the edges of the building, so then I see something like this. Okay, so I'm going to go to the view, right click on the section itself, go to the view, and this is how it looks, my section now. One thing that I have to notice is that my interior walls, they are not attaching to the roof. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click on one, select all instances, in this case not in the view because I'm only seeing 2. I'm going to select all of them in the project, attach top base to the roof. So all of them, I know that all of them will be joining the roof, and this is what I want. One thing to notice here, a mistake that I couldn't see in 2D. The secretary is facing towards the other direction, so this is not correct. I need to go to the level 1 again, and I need to rotate this secretary 180 degrees actually. So now my section should look normal. Yeah, so now my section looks a bit okay. Again, changing the detail to fine, so then I see the layers. So then I see the layers of my wall. I didn't work so much on the roof and on the floor. Now it's the time to do it. I'm also going to detail some parts of my foundation with some design techniques that I learned in previous lessons. So the idea here is that I will have more or less detailed sections. So we are talking about doing drawings 1 to 20. So I can detail some parts of it. It's not like a key junction. It's a bit less information, so it's not so crowded. I'm going to work a little bit on it. Feel free to ask your architectural teacher to what kind of detail are we looking for. I'm going to do my own interpretation of it. Don't, and that's a rule for all my videos, don't take this as a perfect example. This is just a way of using the tools, not the intent of using it. Okay, so after annotating my section, I'm ready to create sheets. And the way I create sheets, I right click, I'll go to the project browser, right click on sheets and the new sheets. At the moment I only have this A0 and that's what I have. I need to load the sheets from, and I have them located on my desktop. Okay, sheet, and it's just updating. So while we wait for it, I will have this. So I have this A1, A2, A3, and that's what I'm going to use. Then I have an A3 extended, and I have one A4. I'm going to use the regular A3. So this is my sheet. I can change my project name in here. I can change my sheet name, the author who's going to check my drawing, the drawing number, the scale is automatic, and the address of the project status, if this is outline proposal or project proposal. I'm going to do that in a later stage. What's going to happen here is that I'm going to create my outline proposal drawing, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag and drop my view into the sheet. Just going to place it. Yeah, this is more or less correct. One thing that I'm going to do here, just to finalize and to make it a little bit better, and that's going inside the view. So if I hover my mouse, I'm hovering on the view. I double click on the view. I'm inside the view. It's the same as being on the plan view itself. One thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the elevations from this view. So VG, I'm going to come to the annotation categories. I'm going to go to the elevations, and I'm going to take them out. So I'm going to say apply. So now it's a bit more concise. I'm going to get out of the view. So to get out of the view, just double click outside the view itself. I'm going to just move my viewport. The line is too big, and the way I have to do the line, I have to select the viewport itself and then reduce the line of the drawing. I'm going to create another sheet for the project proposal. So again, I'm going to come here. I'm going to new sheet, another A3, and I'm going to just drop my project proposal view. Probably, yeah, I have to remove the elevations. I'm just going to place it somewhere here. Again, double click inside the view, VG, annotation, elevations. I'm going to take them out, apply, okay. Again, same work. What I'm going to do in here, I'm going to create a schedule so then I can have a room schedule on this side with the area, with the number of the room as well. So fast, let's do things. So new schedule. I want to schedule rooms. and here they are. Room schedule, that's fine by me, everything is correct. I want the area, I want the name, the number, I want the volume as well, and the perimeter, that's also something interesting. Finish, base ceiling, comments, count, department, no, everything. The level, yeah, it's redundancy level 1, all of them, they are level 1, and that's it. So first I want to see the name. No, first I want to see the number actually. Then I want to see the name, area, volume, and perimeter. I'm not going to filter any rooms, I want to see them all. I'm going to sort them by number, and that's it. Let's see how it looks. The volume is not computed. That's an option on the rooms itself. In order to enable Revit to compute the volumes, I'll have to go to level 1. Then I'll have on the architecture tab, on the room and area, I'm going to drop down and area and volume computations. And the way Revit comes by default, he only calculates the areas. It's a bit faster, so this is a small project, so it's good to be okay. I'm going to calculate areas and volumes. Now my schedule should have the volume as well. Yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to my sheet, the second one that I did. Of course, I'm going to name them, and I'm going to drop the schedule in here. So then I have a bit of more information about my rooms and all the perimeters and everything. I'm going to do the same for the section and also for the elevations. And I'm going to show you after I'll do everything, and I'm going to rename the sheets and everything. I will show you how to export the views as a JPEG for the presentation. That's for presentation purposes, so we can put them on our PowerPoint, and also how to print the sheets on an A3 sheet, and the settings related to the scale of the sheets when we print, so we don't see this line and then we print in a correct proportion. So I'm gonna do the rest of the sheets. We're gonna go and we're gonna go through all the steps after. Okay, so all my sheets are in place. I have outline proposal, plan view, project proposal with a schedule. I have a section, and I have all my elevations in one. This sheet is a bit different, it's in one A2. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to print the sheets. So file, I'm going to print all the A3s, and then I'm going to print the A2. So print, I have to select my my 3D my printer. I'm going to select the Bluebeam PDF, combine multiple sheets into a single file. We can I'm going to select the sheets, so I don't want to see the views. I want to see the sheets, and I'm going to print these 3 sheets because I know they are all A3. Do you want to save? No, I don't want to save for now. I want to create separate files. Yes. I'm going to browse, and I'm going to use my my desktop. I'm going to see the settings. On the settings, the name is going to be default. The size of the it's going to be an A3, ISO A3. Source, it doesn't matter. Center, this is really important here. I'm gonna make, instead of having zoom to fit to page, so if I fit to page, it prints with a margin, and the drawing will not be 100% 1 to 100 on the scale, so I have to zoom to 100%. This is really important. I want to use vector processing, so then instead of having raster images, so the vector gives me much more detail when I zoom in. This is really important as well. All the other options, this is Hide the reference planes, yes. Hide the reference tags and views, yes. And scope boxes and crop boundaries, yeah, that this is what I want. I'm gonna say okay, and that's it. So I'm gonna create separate files. I already selected them, and I'm gonna say okay. So separate wish continue, yes. So now it's printed. Um, it gives me options to save. I already did. I'm gonna save it to desktop, save again, desktop, save. It's already creating the sheets. Notice something here, that it doesn't have the line around, so this is 1 to 100 correctly. It doesn't have the frame around, and that's really important because we really need to print at 1 to 100. Again, desktop and save. It's a good idea to rename the sheets, because at the moment it's just it gives me the sheet number, and it would be interesting to have some metadata also in the name of the files. I'm gonna repeat the process for the A2, and I'm gonna explain you how to export these views or sheets into for my presentation. So the way I do it, I'll come in here, file, instead of printing, I'm going to select export. Then I'm going to move to this side. I can export as a CAD as well. But I want to do it. What I want to do, I want to export images or animations. I could create a walkthrough or a solar study, but I'm going to export still images. And the still images, same here, same. Select views. So I'm going to select the views. In this case, instead of selecting the sheets, I could also do the sheets, but when I do the views, it makes more sense for me to make the views only. So I'm going to select all these views, project proposal, and the section. I'm going to say okay. I don't want to save it. The maximum here is 15,000 pixels. View links in blue, no, I want to see them in black. Hide reference planes, yes. I'm going to say JPEG lossless, and create browsable, no. Multiple sheets to create multiple files, yes. And I'm going to change the location to my desktop, and I'm just going to say okay. And we wait while we are exporting the views, of course, because the quality might be too high. I don't know, try to play with it and try to check the quality that you really want. It's also really a good idea to plug your computer to the projector, so then you see the end result on the projector. So this might be too much quality, so it takes too much space and it takes too much time to export all the views. So it might be a good idea to reduce the quality of the pixels and project on your computer.